Hello friendlies, and welcome to part 11 of my Demon Hunter build. Today I'll be patterning and shaping the foam for my bracers. I always have the reference images close by when I'm working. First up, I measure the size of the base of the bracer on my arm. I take 3 measurements: the length of my arm, or how long I want the bracer to be, then around the wrist, and around the top of the forearm, taking off about ½ an inch so I can get my arm in and out. For all the other parts of the bracer, I'm frequently checking the reference images to make sure I get proportions and shapes correct. For shapes that will be symmetric, I draw the midline and then 1/2 of the image so I can fold the paper over at the midline and cut it out and have a symmetric pattern piece. Then I use a putty to hold all the pieces together so I can check the sizes and proportions of the pattern against my own body and redraw as needed. For the base of the bracer, I'm using my thinnest craft foam. All of this will be wrapped in Warbla, but I prefer to build up the shapes as much as possible with foam to save money on Warbla. Because this will have Warbla to hold it all together, I just tack the foam in place with a little super glue in this stage. For the more detailed parts of the bracer, I'm using a thicker EVA foam. Remember to change your hobby knife blade often for clean cuts. For the raised details on each piece, I cut each pattern piece out again. And then begin marking where I need to cut. I checked my reference image closely through all this and used a ruler to keep my lines consistent. Next, I need to bevel the edges. I marked where I wanted to cut, and then moved along it carefully with the knife. Repeat as needed for all the pieces. Lastly, I wanted to Dremel the edges I had cut to clean them up. Again, I added super glue to keep the raised details in place. The final bit before Warbler is adding some battle damage. I followed the reference photo, but also took creative liberties to add damage to places where I wasn't happy with the shapes. That's it for this week. I hope I was able to provide some insights or helpful tips, and next week we will start the Warbler. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!